Hey, stick around and see how you can win $500 auction dollars in just a few minutes. We have the auction coming up. It's actually bidding already. wardsauctions.com is your links to the online bidding. It's an online-only auction because, of course, we have the COVID-19. This is the spring of 2020. So those, if you're seeing this in the future, you will understand what I'm talking about. Online only. Not a big stretch because 75% of our clientele is already online only. So they're already used to not having a live viewing. So those that are local, that's the one thing that they're going to miss out on is the live viewing. We've stepped up our images, and you can still reach out to us. Email me, brad@brad-ward.com. There'll be a link below. If you have questions about, you need to see a picture of something because there should be a unicorn and a mermaid on the trigger guard of a certain collectible piece, and we've missed that. Let us know. If it's a piece that's a newer item and speaks for itself, then not so much. You shouldn't need any more questions, and if you ask for something, you're just being silly. And don't ask about boars because we don't talk about boars. So, it's a great looking sale. We have absolutely fantastic items. This one here is an Enfield 410. I'm not going to talk about I'd be here all day if I was talking about all of them. And this is essentially a factory one, for lack of a better term. So this one does not take normal 410 rounds. You can't use it doesn't take normal ones. Those of you that are interested, you already know all about that. But we've got vintage pieces. We've got newer pieces. We've got the Ruger Ranch there. We've got a junior carbine with an optic on it. There is a couple of mint condition Winchesters. This is 22 Magnum, and on the other side of the wall there's a 22 long rifle. These things are like brand spanking new. There's like no miles on that at all. And that's something that we talk about in the catalog, no miles, almost new condition. There's words like that they're sort of my opinion to try to give you buyer confidence. Lots of restricted and prohibited. No, not lots of prohibited, but definitely some prohibited. We are still cataloging right now as we speak. So there's some stuff that's already in the building, and people are bringing stuff. We're right now about a week away from the closing, so there are still people bringing stuff in over this weekend. Right now it's Good Friday. Happy Easter, everybody. And so I'm meeting people over the weekend that are bringing things in, and then there's still some stuff that's already in the building. One of the differences that you're going to face for this sale, for the restricteds, is that the CFO, the Alberta CFO, is all working from home, as you can well imagine. And the Ontario CFO, we don't even know what they're doing. And Miramichi is half at home and half not at home, I think. They are doing the transfers, though. We are literally going to be doing every transfer for this firearm sale by phone. We are going to be phoning them in, I think, on the Monday after the sale to start the transfers. So it's going to be a daunting project for us, but whatever. Not the worst thing that we've had to face. So the transfers will get done. I promise you that they will be slower. On the prohibs, guaranteed they're going to be slower. And we do have 2 fully automatic Tommy guns in the sale. And I did do a little video a couple of weeks ago, just sort of impromptu about those. And it was more focused on the dewadding of them. So link below, you'll also get a phone number and an email address for Ryan Risling at AR Gunsmithing and Machining, or Machining and Gunsmithing. And he does excellent work. He's one of the 4 licensed people in the province for doing DWATs. And so you can reach out to him. But we also do have 12-2 category or 12-2 licensed people on, that are customers of ours. So with a bit of luck, these are still going to go to somebody who has a 12-2 license, and then they will not be destroyed just yet. And mostly that earlier video was focusing on the fact they're trying to echo the point that yes, you can DWAT them, but it has more to do with the erosion of our rights that we have sort of allowed to happen. So that's a bit of a ramble. There's a few things that were pulled from the sale, from consigners that were concerned about it being an online-only auction, and they didn't know, how that was going to work out. I think that was short-sighted on them. So there's about 3 consigners that pulled a few items, and so those things are not on the sale anymore. And so I got a few nastygrams, phone calls, and emails, essentially accusing me of being a Glock tease And so I just wanted to explain why those items are no longer on the sale, because I saw them on the image gallery, including this one here is no longer in the sale. Ha, ha, ha. Let's wander up some more and see some more guns. Well, you've seen all the handguns because we've been showing them to you while I was rambling on. There's some beautiful pieces, like virtually brand new. This Ruger is virtually new. However, no, not that one. There's another one in the sale. There's a Ruger in the sale that's is virtually brand new, and yet part of the rear sight is broken off. It obviously got clipped somehow. But there's some awesome pieces. Model 29, 629. There's actually a 29 and a 629. There's some terrific ARs, including a 308 AR. That brings me to another topic. Don't be afraid to send us an email if we've made a silly mistake, or if you have a question about something like I mentioned earlier. If it's a annoying email, it's just going to be exactly that, an annoying email. But sometimes we make a straight up typo, because I noticed the other day that 308 was listed as a 303. It's just a typo, and sometimes something gets half cataloged, and then the phone rings, and an hour later you go back and finish it, and you're like, where was I? So mistakes happen. And plus, by no means am I an expert. I'm an enthusiast, but there's so much stuff here that I don't know that what I don't know would fill this room. We probably won't reply to those emails. When you send an email and say, hey, what about, I need to see a picture of, again, the unicorn or the mermaid. With a bit of luck, we'll get that updated, so you'll just go back and look at the item, and you'll see an added photograph or a changed description. We won't necessarily have the time or make the time to reply to your email. We appreciate it, but it's just there's so much time. Speaking of emails, Michael, who does all the registrations for the online bidding and does most of everything else that's in the office, he gets, on a normal firearms auction, you're looking at somewhere around 1,000 emails, because there's the questions about registering and there's the questions about paying and all the rest of it. So we have that form that we have made up. Most people have no issues. They fill out the form, they send it in. And it is specific to a firearm sale. We don't have them on our regular sales. So it's asking about specific firearms, things like your license and so on. It's asking about, are you shipping or picking up? It's asking about how you're going to pay. This particular sale, because of COVID, all sales are online. So you're either charging your credit card that you registered with, make sure there's enough room on that card, has to be the one you registered with, can't use another one, or you're sending an email transfer. So if we know that ahead of time, it just smooths. The reason we ask for all this ahead of time is that there's time. Right now there's a week till the sale. So you got time to fill out that form, get registered. We know what's happening. Whereas immediately after the sale, there's 450 buyers that are all emailing at the same time. And if we don't already know what's happening, then all this information is coming in. It's just easier for us to know ahead of time. You're going to get an invoice after the sale. Oftentimes it ends up in your junk folder. So, and that's what the form is. So watch your junk folder, and then follow the instructions in that, or let us know it's already. Well, we should already know. Even if you've filled out the form before, you got to fill it out again this time, because there's new information that is mostly specific to the fact that it is 100% online and that COVID issues. So for that reason, everybody must fill it out. If I'm rambling on like crazy. If you end up replying to something, remember the 450 invoices, now you're at the bottom of the list. So you've just delayed everything for yourself more than anything else by replying with a question that was probably supposed to be answered already. So what else can we talk about? Pickups are going to be 100% by appointment. This is another neat item. Take a look. Let's take a little break to look at something. Okay? With the grenade launcher. Let me tell you a little story. I've got to throw the police under the bus here. This was a deceased, and the city police went and pulled everything out of the house, handguns and rifles out of the vault and whatever. This was hanging on the studio wall, or on the office wall, and that was left there. So I thought that was kind of funny. Maybe they thought it was fake or something, because it looks pretty aggressive. So in any case, I thought it was a bit funny. What else have we got? CFOs are from home. The fact that this is a 100% online sale is not that big of a stretch for many, because 75% of our clientele was already online bidders. So they're already used to seeing to not seeing the inventory live. They're already used to just seeing the pictures and bidding online. So it's those closer ones. I think I might have mentioned that already. The way that if you've never done the timed online auction before, it's not the same. There won't be a video stream. There won't be an auctioneer. It's timed. If you bid in the last seconds, I want to say the last 30 seconds, it extends the bidding on that item. So you can end up with 4 or 5 items bidding at the same time or sort of closing at the same time. So it's best to use a computer. Our last auction 2 weeks ago was online only, so I personally logged in, registered to get used to it. It was a little bit different than a live one. So I watched it. And I bid on a few things, and I extended the timing and bidding and so on, just to get a sense of what it was like. So just keep in mind that and then I did it with my phone. I just found it to be kind of a nuisance if you're on the phone only. So, and especially if somebody who's not techie, and we do get a lot of not techie people registering for these sales, just better off to use a computer. And if you need help, get your kids, your grandkids, your neighbors' kids to help you out. You're just going to be a lot happier. We tried our best to do good descriptions on the items and good photographs. We are adding photographs as we go along, as we see fit, and sometimes as our clients request. And so I think we've been doing a pretty good job of that. If you try to snipe, what they call sniping in the last 4 or 5 seconds of something bidding, chances are you're just going to miss out on it. So, because by the time it gets through, up into cyberspace and then off to Vancouver where the server is to whatever, you've gone. Your 5 seconds is gone. So just do yourself a favor and don't try to snipe something in the last seconds. Remember, I can't stress enough: all pickups are by appointment. And that's because we want to, we've got health issues. We want to keep you guys safe. I want to keep the staff safe. Most of the staff is either actual family or may as well be family, right? So we've got to keep them all safe. Hopefully the next sale, even though it's likely to be an online-only sale moving forward, will be a live viewing, and paying and pickuping will be different because it won't be the same issues with health. But for now, everything's by appointment. It'll be slow and methodical. You come to the building with an appointment, a prepaid bill already, because it's all done online, so you're not showing up with cash or your debit card, and we have your stuff already organized. You're not coming in wandering around the building, and then away you go. So how do you win the money? I forgot about that. Historically, we are a live auction with online bidding. It's been like that for years. And we would always give away a prize. Oftentimes it was a little mini fridge, simulated stainless with our logo on it, filled with booze and snacks and whatnot, and that was a prize. And it was a good value. Sometimes we had coolers, sometimes we had actual firearms we gave away. So if you look back in our history, you'll see that. So, but because we're going to have, and what we did is we would draw that at the end of the sale, and it was sort of a reward for staying till the end of the sale for the live bidders. But it completely alienated all the online bidders. So that is what it is. But now it's only online bidders. So, but we still want to give back to you guys a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. If you buy something, you're automatically going to be entered. So that's going to be any invoice is automatically entered into winning the $500 credit. Auction credit, which can be used for this sale if you have a $500 or any credit, and then whatever isn't used could be spilled over. Or if you like and comment on this video or this post, then you will be entered as well. So like and comment. Shares are appreciated, of course. And if you follow our actual page, now we actually have a couple of different auction pages, but if you follow Wards and Bud Haynes page, it's easier for us to track you and then let you know when you win. So you can then have a $500 credit that can be used for, because if you don't buy in this sale, that's fine. You can use it for the next firearms auction, which should be in August, or a sale before that, which would be a non-firearm sale. So all you have to do is like and comment, and you're automatically entered to win. No purchase necessary. So $500 worth of auction money for that one there. So it's probably already way too long a video, but I want to pop out front there and show you some of the non-firearms. So we got a nice little selection of stack-on style safes, and plus this true vault, the Cabela's vault, so you can learn the difference if you don't already know the difference between a safe and a vault. It does make a difference in Canada. Nice selection of traps, all different, weird, unusual traps, and they're in bigger lots. I think this whole thing on this whole side is one lot of traps, and so you got 4 or 5 or 6 different lots of traps in there, and they're fun. Yeah, there's no big bear traps or anything this sale, which we do sometimes have, as you know, on anybody who's following. Large selection of bayonets and other sharps. Some of them are in individual or smaller lots. Some of them are in group lots. This little piece here is signed under the handle. This is lot number 358. Look at your catalog online. Look at your images online. You're going to see that you have signatures underneath there, and the translation, at least as we saw it. You know, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, but Steve put some pretty serious effort into doing the cataloging of that item. So, and some of these are proper antiques, like that one I just showed you, or proper collectibles, something like this. Like this is really stabby. Modern bayonets, vintage bayonets, brand new knives. There's some cased collector type pieces here. Golden Bear. This is a Kershaw. This one here is a Harley Owners Group one. The case you can actually mount on the wall because it's actually held in there with a magnet. Golden Boar. More vintage pieces. This one here, I got to show you this thing. This thing here is clearly designed for chopping off heads or something. It's just weighted in such a fashion that has to be it. That has to be it. I'll have to look at our own description. 158. Stephen cataloged this one, and I know he was spending some time with it. But boy, I'll tell you, it just feels. This is where it's disappointing that we can't have the live viewing, because this is where there's so much knowledge in the building during the viewing. People that know so much stuff, be it for sharps, be it for the firearms, the vintage stuff. It's just fascinating to hear what people have to say about the inventory that we have. It is a nice looking sale. It is smaller than we have had in the past. We're sitting at about 600 right now, and of course it'll grow because we're not quite done yet. And but there is a few lots, things that we didn't get in because they didn't want their house exposed. Stuff we were supposed to go pick up, and then they're like, no, we'll just wait because of the COVID and whatnot. Anyhow, I've been rambling on too much. wardsauctions.com is going to be your link to our website and links to the online bidding. The registration for that ends on the 17th, the night before the closing. Closing starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's every 30 seconds in catalog order. Something closes, well, it's in order, and that happens on the 18th. You can call us. The office is 780-451-4549. And my name is Brad Ward. I certainly appreciate you watching the video. I know it's a bit long and boring, but it had more to do to get that information out about the changes and the oddities and whatnot. So send us an email. All your links are going to be below in descriptions and whatnot, so that you can send us if you have specific requests for images and so on. Again, we don't talk to bores. Look at the images. There's so much information out there. I don't know what else to say. Thanks for watching.